champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, ladies and gentlemen. At the sound of this, you know that it's time for the sports chat right here on Starr 103.5 FM. My name is Jones ADZI. Thank you so much for choosing us. And good morning to you wherever you're doing the listening from. We're live on Facebook. Get to Facebook Starr 103.5 FM and get to watch the show live. This morning, we have a lot in the world of sports, right from obviously the Champions League. Interesting result coming in from the Champions League yesterday. We saw hey, Manchester City. Hey, yes, Manchester City. We're leading 3-0 against Feyenoord. And the boys, the investors, had cash out. But then they decided that, let's hold on. Man City, this one, yeah, afa. Guess what? Feyenoord came back to draw that game 3-3. So we'll get to listen to Pep. And then I would get to listen to the coaches who were in action yesterday, some of them. And then today they have some fixtures in the Champions League as well. But then former Black Stars captain and then maestro and legend Abedi Ayew Pele has been speaking on Ghana's recent decline in football. He's been saying some things. We'll get to listen to him as well. And then we'll get to Africa, the Champions League. Yes, don't forget that it is not just the European Champions League. The CAF Champions League was also in action yesterday. The likes of TP Mazembe, Young African, were all in action, bringing you full result from there. So let's just start off from Abedi Ayew Pele, because former Black Stars captain and football legend Abedi Ayew Pele has waded into the conversation on the recent decline of Ghana football and has urged authorities to put their house in order and get results. Abedi was speaking at the immigration games put together by the Immigration Service to foster unity and peace through football ahead of the elections.
Changes in all, and this we are talking about 3 decades. So whatever it is, we shouldn't look back. We should just look forward and work very hard to achieve whatever we want to achieve. What it takes to be a great football team or a great football nation is to work hard and put your house into order and make sure that you get results. And that is all that it takes to be a good team in all over the world. Put your house together and then you make sure. So for me, I agree with him that football is one of the key can bring to the people. So it's really true that football can unite a nation, football can bring people together, and football is #1 peacemaker in the world.
Right, so Abedi Ayew Pele says football is #1 peacemaker in the world, and he says if you want to be a great football nation, you need to work hard and put your house in order. I hope the GFA, who actually came out yesterday to reschedule their stakeholder meeting that was supposed to happen tomorrow, we understand that it has been rescheduled so that all the stakeholders can be able to attend. So, first of all, former captain and legend Abedi Ayew Pele is telling you that put your house in order if you want to be a great football nation. Okay, let's move on from Ghana to Africa. Yesterday, results from the CAF Champions League. TP Mazembe played out a 0-0 draw with MC Algiers. Young African lost at home to Al Hilal by 2-0. Mamelodi Sundowns 0. AS Maniama Union 0. Al Ahly 4. Stade de Abidjan 2. Pyramids FC 5. Sagrada Esperanca 1. Raja Casablanca lost at home to AS FAR by 2-0. CR Belouizdad 1. Orlando Pirates 2. And then ES Tunis 4. AC Bamako 0 in there. So, yeah, results from the CAF Champions League. Okay, it's about time. Let's do this. Champions, yes, Champions League action back yesterday, and result, interesting result. Manchester City's defensive issues continued as they squandered a 3-0 lead to draw 3-3 against Feyenoord yesterday at the Etihad. So they were actually stunned. Pep Guardiola's side looked to be cruising after 2 goals from Erling Haaland and another from Alke Gundogan, put the host into a commanding lead. But the Dutch visitors staged a stunning comeback to take a point back to Rotterdam to the delight of their 5,000 traveling fans. Here is Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola reacting to the results after the game and says the 3-3 draw is difficult to swallow.
So it's not necessary to say anything to them. They know it perfectly. So the 3 episodes, and they didn't allow us to win what we needed for many, many reasons, not just for the terms of qualification or get the points to go through, for many other reasons. And it's what it is. So difficult to swallow right now. And so the game was good. We scored 3. We could score more. We do everything, but at the end we give away, especially the first one. And after we are not stable enough to do it. And it's not about no run or the commitment or nothing as that. But football, you have to be in certain moments do it. And right now it's the second goal, the second post, touch post, Eddie. Finish in the place when the player is there, and the last action, Jack, shoot, deflection, keeper, post, and go out. So in that situation, everything is like that. So, but improve. What can we do? So rest 1 or 2 days and prepare Anfield.
Right. So there you have coach of Manchester City, Pep Guardiola. Well, if you joined us on Facebook, you'd have seen the images of Pep Guardiola in there. And yesterday, he actually had to cut himself with his fingernails. The man is so frustrated. Manchester City is not going so well for them at all. Well, from Manchester, let's move to London, because that's now traveled all the way to Portugal and trashed Sporting Lisbon by 5-1. Mikel Arteta's side were comfortable throughout the game. The world could have been a tricky away fixture as Gabriel Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Saka, and then Leonardo Trossard all scored. The Gunners registered as many goals as Sporting as they managed in their previous 8 Champions League away matches, combining a result that lifts them to 7th on the table. Speaking after the game, Mikel Arteta hailed the best away European performance of his reign as his side claimed their biggest away win in the Champions League since beating Inter by the same scoreline in 2003.
It's true that the result is very different, but the performance and as well the entity of the opponent that we faced when we played Inter, I was so pleased with what I saw, and I knew that in that pathway, good things were going to happen in Europe. Today we've been able to do that and replicate it and be even more efficient in the position half. And very pleased because the team played with so much courage, because they are so good. And watching them live, I realize how good they are.
Right, so Arteta says that when he sees Sporting, he knows that they are very, very good. And kudos to his team for beating them by 5-1. Don't forget that Sporting were coached by Ruben Amorim, coach of Manchester United, who is now facing a new battle in Manchester. Okay, let's move on to other results, because yesterday Lewandowski netted a first-half penalty to reach the milestone and give Barcelona the lead in their group phase match against Brest before adding his 101st goal as the hosts went on to win 3-0. So, Robert Lewandowski became the 3rd player in history to score 100 Champions League goals as Barcelona defeated Brest in a dominance performance. So we also saw another goal from Dani Olmo. But then, here is Lewandowski speaking on scoring 100 goals in the Champions League.
For me, since years, it's like to be close with these big 2 names in the football history is like, and try to do my best. Of course, it's difficult to catch them, but, to be very close. So sometimes even over them is like, it's, you have to dream always. And I didn't believe that I can be scoring like more than 100 goals in Champions League. And and today I'm here. So yeah, I can be proud for myself and also for the team, because I'm very happy that how we're playing, and also how many goals we're scoring with so many young players in the team. So sometimes I feel like teenager in this club, so it makes me even more stronger sometimes.
Right, so makes him stronger. Lewandowski, 100 goals in the Champions League. He actually has 101 yesterday. He scored 2 goals in that game. Full results from yesterday's Champions League. Slovan 2, AC Milan 3. Spartak Prague were thrashed at home by Atletico Madrid by 6 goals to nothing. Barcelona 3. Barcelona beat Brest by 3 goals to nothing. Bayern Leverkusen 5. Salzburg 0. Bayern Munich, big game yesterday. Beats Paris Saint-Germain by a goal to nothing. We saw PSG with a red card for Ousmane Dembele. Dembele had a lot of chances in the first half, but then he couldn't utilize it. And Bayern came in strong when Kim scored from a corner kick. Inter Milan still unbeaten. They are yet to concede a goal in the Champions League. They beat RB Leipzig by a goal to nothing. Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 3, Sporting CP 1, Arsenal 5, and then Young Boys were at home. And indeed, they are Young Boys because they were trashed, whipped, whitewashed by Atalanta by 6 goals to 1 in there. Right, before I bring you the table, there are some fixtures today in the Champions League, and we'll see Liverpool coming up against Real Madrid, champions Real Madrid. And Ancelotti has been speaking ahead of tonight's encounter.
I think it's an important game that every victory gives to you more confidence and more belief in the future, of course. Liverpool did really well until now, better than us in the domestic competition. But now we are back, and we hope to play a good game tomorrow with a strong rival. But I think for the future, it's too far. The end of the season is too far, and hopefully we hope to be there as usual.
Right, so renewed rivalry. Don't forget that Ancelotti was a former Everton coach, and if you know how Everton and Liverpool games are, renewed rivalry. So the former Evertonian will be moving back to Anfield this evening. Liverpool's coach Ancelotti has also been speaking ahead of the game and believes that Mohamed Salah's comments on his contract won't distract Salah and the team.
Yeah, definitely we want his numbers to be where they are at the moment, because those are the numbers Mo always have had and still has, so that's the positive thing. I don't think he's distracted at all. I haven't seen that after United game where he had some comments. I haven't seen it after a post you told me about. Afterwards he just kept on scoring. I didn't see anything today. He's just fully focused on the game tomorrow. And I think these kind of things are inside here and probably in the media, and all our fans talk about it, which is completely normal. But if you would have been at the Ajax today, I don't think any player talked about it, at least not when I was there. Maybe they always give each other a bit of stick.
Right, so Slot says Salah is focused on today's game. Well, I'm still on that game. Return for Jude Bellingham, who plays for Real Madrid, and he has also been speaking. He believes that Liverpool are in great form, but then they can still beat them.
For a start, I think that's clear. Obviously, they're top of the league in England, and I think top of the Champions League standings at the minute as well. So I think it's clear to see how good of a team they are. You know, they've got players who have kind of come to a new level, some of the younger lads, and then the more experienced lads who have been world class for a long time. So it'll be a great test, but a great game, and still confident.
All right, so that was Jude Bellingham, still very, very confident that they can go out and beat Liverpool, who are on top in the English Premier League and were on top of the Champions League yesterday. But then Inter Milan at the moment are on top of the Champions League table. So Inter Milan have 13 points. They are yet to concede a goal in the Champions League. Barcelona second with 12 points. Liverpool have a game today. They have 12 points as well. So they can go top If they get a win today, get 15 points. If they do get a win today, Atalanta have moved to the 4th position with 11 points. Bayern Leverkusen have moved to the 5th position, 10 points. AS Monaco have a game today, and they lie 6th with 10 points. Arsenal, after beating Sporting, have leapfrogged Sporting and moved to the 7th position with 10 points. So Sporting, after yesterday's defeat, lie 8th with 10 points. Stade Brestos or Brest are 9th with 10 points, and then Borussia Dortmund are 10th. They have a game with 9 points. Bayern Munich have moved to the 11th position with 9 points, and we have the likes of AC Milan. While we look for Manchester City, they are 15th with 8 points, and then Juventus are 16th with 7 points. Real Madrid lie 21st with 6 points, and Burnley need a win to put themselves in a good position or closer to the top 8. PSG lie 26th in there. Okay, so fixtures for today, we'll see Red Star Belgrade take on VfB Stuttgart. Sturm Graz would welcome Girona, AS Monaco. So the first 2 games are at 5:45 p.m. AS Monaco take on Benfica. Aston Villa would play Juventus. Bologna play Lille. Celtic take on Club Brugge. Dynamo Zagreb would welcome Borussia Dortmund. Liverpool play Real Madrid. Big game for the day. And then PSV would host Shakhtar Donetsk there. So, yeah, fixtures from the Champions League will be happening today. Let's bring you some tennis news quickly, because former British number 1 Laura Robson has been appointed tournament director for the new WTA 500 women's event at the Queen's Club in London, set to begin on June 9, 2025. So this marks the first top-level women's tournament in London in over 50 years. Robson, who retired from tennis in 2022, has been the Nottingham Open tournament director for the past 2 years. Meanwhile, Jamie Murray will continue to oversee the men's tournament at Queen's starting a week later. Amy Hutchinson will succeed Robson as a Nottingham Open tournament director in there. Okay, so that should do it for Sports Chat this morning. And don't forget to join us on The Game at 1 p.m. Trust me, it is a show on TV, also live on radio and on X. We bring you all the highlights from the Champions League, the reactions, and the previews into today's games. This is Starr 103.5 FM. My name is Jones, ADZI, and we outside. Yeah!